what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing Get Ready With Me June favorites Get Ready With Me style. So full face, all the stuff I've been loving this month. Before we get into this, I would love it if you guys would subscribe to my channel. I would love it if you guys would come follow me on Instagram, because you always find me on Instagram whenever I'm not here on my channel making videos for you guys. And now we can get into this monthly favorites Get Ready With Me. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the Patrick Ta Major Glow Highlighting Mist. And you can use this pretty much any way that you want, but I found that I really like it underneath makeup. So I just spray it on the high points of my face, just like this, to kind of get like a all over illuminated base, and then I'll just kind of blend it in with my fingers. It gives you a little bit more of that like wet, reflective looking skin. So I'll just blend it so it's not sitting in any specific spots. The foundation I've really been loving this month, truly obsessed, cannot say anything negative about this. Well, aside from the shade range is not very great on this, but the product itself is really beautiful. It's the Light Illusion Foundation from Flower Beauty. You only need one pump because it has such amazing coverage. And honestly, you probably don't want to layer a ton of this on top of itself because it is so full coverage that I could see it looking a little bit cakey if you wear too much. But I love the way that this looks. It really looks like skin. It does not look artificial, and it just blends in beautifully. It's quite moisturizing as well, and it just disappears. Once you've blended it in, you just don't see it anymore. And it is like the perfect everyday foundation for some coverage and just getting your skin looking all even toned and really beautiful and lifelike. It has such a beautiful, radiant, soft, dewy finish. It's not an oily, dewy finish. And seriously, look how fast I blended this out. It took me no time. It blends out like a dream. It just fits onto your skin, molds with your skin's texture, looks so beautiful, so natural. I just did one light layer. You can build this up. I've done 3 layers and it gets to that really full, flawless coverage look. But for the daily, I just like one light layer, just even me out a bit. I'll do one more light layer just so you guys can see it build on top of itself. I'll add a little bit of extra coverage so you guys can see it camouflaging a little bit more redness and stuff. Now right in the center of my face, you can see there's more coverage and it's hiding a lot more this round. So I zoomed you in, and guys, I can't even emphasize how much this foundation looks more so like beautiful skincare and just really healthy, radiant skin than makeup. It blends in seamlessly and just leaves you with a gorgeous skin-like finish. I can't rave about that foundation enough. For concealer, I didn't really have anything that I was like super crazy about, so I'm just gonna go in with my trusty NARS Radiant Creamy. I wear the shade Ginger. I'm gonna use this to prime my eyelids as well and just brighten up my under eyes. I like a little bit more brightness under there. But you can build that foundation on top of itself and really get like more coverage to the point it's kind of like concealer. One time I was actually getting my makeup done by a makeup artist for this brand deal we were doing together, and I was telling him that my favorite concealer is NARS Radiant Creamy, and he was like, oh no girl, it's too dry. And I was like, what? Are we talking about the same concealer here? Because NARS Radiant Creamy is never dry. It's always creamy and looks really youthful and radiant. I was like, we are not talking about the same concealer, man. You are talking about something else, because NARS Radiant Creamy is always a go-to. I did my brows off camera because I just didn't have anything that was wowing me this month. Nothing crazy or super exciting to share with you guys in terms of brows. So let's move into eyeshadow, because I'm absolutely obsessed with the Natasha Denona Biba palette. This is so beautiful. It has really great neutral tones. You guys know when I'm doing my favorites, generally speaking, I'm gonna be talking about neutral eyeshadows or like cream shadows and things like that, because those are the things that I'm reaching for every single day, and the Biba palette has been my latest obsession. I'm gonna pick up the shade Tusk on a Zoeva 228. Gotta re-smooth out that concealer. And I'm gonna use Tusk to just set my whole eyelid up to the brow bone. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with the shade Freckle, again on this 228. And I'm gonna pop Freckle on the outer corner of my eye and then pull it into the crease. The great thing about these shadows is that even though they're matte, they blend out so easily. That's kind of a big thing with matte shadows. They can sometimes be a little bit more tricky to work with, but all of Natasha Denona's mattes are just incredible and so easy to work with. And if you're gonna invest in a Natasha Denona palette, I think it really comes down to, you know, the shades that you like and the shades that you think are gonna be the most practical for the types of looks you like to create. But overall, the Biba is just full of beautiful colors that you'll probably find yourself wearing every day if you tend to stick to more natural looks. And then I'm gonna take that shade called Tone, which is this really beautiful dusty ginger snap shade, and I'm gonna pop that right all over my eyelid. This one is such a unique color. It's almost like I wish I had a nail polish of this color because I just think it complements my eye color and my hair color really well. And I'm gonna run that shade Tone on my lower lash line as well, all the way from the inner corner to the outer corner. And then I'm gonna use that shade called Rustic as my eyeliner. So I'm just going to smudge this into the top lash line. And then on a Laura Mercier finishing ponytail brush, I'm gonna take that shade Shine and just lightly dust it in the center of my eyelid and blend it out with my finger. I kind of like that wet looking center of the eyelid look. So this is another bronzing technique I've really been liking. You guys know I like playing around with bronzers and mixing them and trying to do new things. So this is just, I kind of think this works as like a bronzer buffer and just makes bronzer go on a lot more airbrushed. So I take a little bit of setting powder. This is the MAC Next to Nothing setting powder in the shade Deep Dark. I like to use something that's a little bit deeper so that I can still use it as a base for bronzer, and I'll just buff this all over the perimeter of my face. But the nice thing about this powder is that it's quite sheer, so it's not gonna give you a ton of color deposit, but it's gonna put a little bit more warmth on your skin. And when you put the bronzer on top, the bronzer is not gonna cling anywhere, and it's just gonna have this really nice warm base to it. So it's almost like a bronzing base is how I use it. And then the bronzer I've been loving all month is from Bare Minerals. Now this one is in the shade Faux Tan. It's this gorgeous like mid-tone milk chocolate brown, but it has a really strong, almost like golden weedy undertone to it. I pick it up on my Laura Mercier finishing powder brush and just buff this right on top. And I feel like it just gives you a little bit more of a multi-dimensional bronze. I don't know if you guys are gonna see this on camera. There's like this weird patch of skin right here that's not really picking up makeup as well as the side over here. I was just like testing shaving my face and decided I didn't want to go through with it the whole way through. So now the areas of my face that have peach fuzz hold on to makeup better than the areas of my face that don't have peach fuzz. So if you see this weird line right here, once the peach fuzz goes back, everything will go back to normal. On this side, I guess it's not as aggressive, but yeah, that's what that is. This cream highlighter I'm obsessed with. It's the Neutrogena Glow On in the shade Supernova. Now this is technically a liquid, you know, cream highlight, but I found that the formulation is quite dry and pretty opaque, so it doesn't disrupt whatever you put it on top of. I just put a little bit on the back of my hand like this and then pick it up on my fingers, and I'll put it right on top of my makeup, and you guys will see it doesn't create any patches. So I actually really like how this is a liquid highlight that you can put on top of makeup that you're already wearing and don't have to worry about it ruining the base and causing your makeup to look patchy. Best application for this product is 100% going to be your fingers though. I feel like you get a little bit more control and you can actually like take the time to push it in, and it looks a lot more natural that way. Ugh, I totally forgot to mention these. I'm obsessed with these CoverGirl cream shadow sticks. I'll put a little bit on the inner corner of my eye. I'll do a tutorial with these if you guys want to see, just like an easy cream shadow using these because they're so good. But completely forgot to grab these before I started filming, and now I've already done like a full eyeshadow look, so I can't put a ton of cream on top. But yeah, these are really great. This one is in the shade 935. It's been one of my go-tos. Let's move on to mascara. So The L'Oreal Telescopic Waterproof came back and I was so obsessed, so happy, but then my lashes started going through their shedding phase. So they're looking kind of crappy and sparse right now, and they're all, you know, all the baby lashes are starting to grow back. So I feel like because that one has a rubber bristle wand, it almost like emphasizes the, you know, sparse patches in my eyebrows. So I'm using the Maybelline Lash Stiletto, and I like how this gives me, you know, a little bit more fullness and kind of disguises the bald patches that my eyelashes are going through, because it gives me a little bit more of wispy volume rather than clean volume. Rubber bristled mascaras tend to give you a little bit more of clean definition, whereas these types of bristles tend to give you a little bit more of like wispy, flirty volume. So when you're trying to disguise sparse lashes, these are good ones. So I've been loving this, and then my Dior show as well. Okay, this is seriously what you need for your eyebrows in the summer. It's from Benefit. It's the 24-hour brow setter. This will keep your brows locked and loaded through sweat, and just your brows will not move. I mean, this stuff is industrial strength. I say that all the time, but I can be sweating my face off and all my makeup can run off, but my brows will stay perked up, and the makeup that I use to fill in my brows will always stay on. So this is like a major key for the summertime. I'm gonna fill in my lips. I'm using Urban Decay Liar. This is one of my all-time faves. It's so good. I always like to get a little bit of that overline action, and then just kind of blend it out a bit using my finger. Get a little bit more soft and sheer. Lip-wise this month, nothing too crazy. So I've obviously been loving my J'adore Dior. Marc Jacobs J'adore a lot, which I showed in my favorite nude lipsticks video. And then I've also really been liking this from Neutrogena. It's the Sheer Smooch Lip Oil in the shade Be Mine. It is practically clear. It is clear, actually. It's just a clear lip oil that I really like, and I'll wear that generally every day on top of that Marc Jacobs lipstick. But the two lip glosses that I've been obsessing over are from Nabla. These are the Shine Theory lip glosses. So I like the shade After Sex and Champagne Supernova. I'll put them both on so you guys can see. This is Champagne Supernova. They just give you the most gorgeous reflective shine, and they make your lips look bigger. Like, they're so good. This one is more of like a, you know, bronzy glitter, but look at that shine. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then here is After Sex, which gives your lips just kind of that nice rosy tint. Now, the thing that I like about these is they're not shimmery. They're not shimmery, they're not frosty. They just have these really beautiful flecks of glitter in them that reflect back so much light and just make your lips look juicy. Like, this is what I want in a lip gloss. I don't like lip glosses that are too opaque or not shiny enough. I love these types of lip glosses that just truly make your lips look wet and juicy. Like, that is the point of a lip gloss. You know what I mean? And then for setting spray, so this is the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray in Summer Solstice. So it's the same as the original Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. This one just smells really, really good. It's kind of, well, let's spray it and then I'll tell you guys the nose. It's just like slightly coconutty and maybe a little bit of orange in there. I don't know, I just like the fragrance because every time I spray it, I'm like, ooh, it smells so good. I loved when they came out with the cherry one too. I was obsessed with that. I use that one up entirely. All Nighter is really great. It's one of those setting sprays that will just keep your makeup locked and loaded without disrupting the finish of your makeup. So if you're wearing something matte, it doesn't take away the matteness of your look, and if you're wearing something dewy, it's not gonna make your base makeup dry down to a matte finish. So I just like how it keeps your makeup in place without disrupting the finish of the makeup that you're already wearing. Alrighty guys, so that is it for my June favorites. I'm not gonna lie, this month was one of the first times in a really long time that I actually struggled picking some of my favorite products, and that generally happens when I'm trying a bunch of new stuff. I find it difficult to kind of pick the things that I want to use versus the things that I'm testing and liking. So I had to really think about, like, what did I find myself like really wanting to use, and what were the things that really wowed me and stuff. So I don't know. I usually have such an easy time picking out my favorites, but when I really thought about it, I was like, oh, I know what I really like this month. So I really Hands down. Again, the biggest thing is the shade selection sucks, but if you can find a shade of the Flower Beauty Light Illusion, I can't recommend this stuff enough. Hopefully they will expand on the shade range because I think all skin tones deserve to try this. The Natasha Denona Biba palette as well, very big fan. And these lip glosses, like, they're so good. I feel like they just make your lips look at all the reflection. They're insane, they're so good. Okay, so I will have everything linked and listed in the description box down below for you guys, and I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel if you didn't earlier. I would also love it if you guys would come follow me on Instagram, that would be amazing. But I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. Bye guys.